I don't know how long this is going to record for, but I'm going to try to record it as fast as I can. So for the people that do follow my at Coffee and Cuppies channel, Bunny, yeah, sorry, my dog is like on my knee. Thank you first and foremost. I appreciate you. I have not been posting as much because I've been focusing on other things, other endeavors, which some people may, I think a lot of people on the Coffee and Puppies channel, to be honest, they watch the Bonnie videos, which is totally fine. I mean, I love my dog and I do that on purpose because I know a lot of people like dogs like me. So I figured I would post her because she's really cute and playful and fun, and I thought if she brings me joy, then I would bring, like, maybe her videos could bring joy to other people. Yes, I am laying down in bed. It is, what time is it? Oh, I can't see my clock. It's like, I think almost 9. Let me see. Echo, what time is it?
It's 9:18 a.m.
9:18 a.m. So I figured I would do that, and she gets a lot of views. This doggie's a you know, and I tell myself, I feel like when it comes hi Bibber, speak of the devil. Not a devil, she's more of an angel, but she can get kind of crazy sometimes. But she just got her new BarkBox toy. It was like, I think the theme was barbecue summer or something, so this is a ketchup bottle. There was one that was like, it's a little hot dog and it says nice buns on it. So yeah, I just feel like when it comes to pet influencers and stuff like that, it's like there's so many people with dogs and cats. Like I did follow before. There was Gohan, the husky. There's Poppy, the prairie dog. I promised myself I was gonna get the plushie of Poppy. There's, what else? I'm trying to think. What other ones did I follow? Oh my gosh, Pluto the husky, but he's on Instagram. And then Blue, the Moriarty family. I was following them as well. I'm sure there's more. Oh, Tucker Budson, he's so cute. Pacha the golden, so cute. And so I told myself, I was like, am I gonna like put there's so many, videos of dogs out there. I'm like, mine, I was like, is she, worth, like, but I did that because she's a part of my life. Bonnie is like a huge part of my life. So yeah, I thought, oh, let me put her on YouTube because, that's a part of my life. Like I hang out with her like all the time. And I play with her, and I know I need to try to walk her more, but like, to be honest, low key, like, I don't know. Sometimes I go outside and I'm just like, I've been through so much, and I don't want to be rude. Sometimes I feel like a fish out of water in this neighborhood, because it's different, and I feel energy like 10 times more as an empathic person. If you don't know what that means, like, go look up like spirituality and stuff, what an empath is. And so like when I walk, how do I describe this without sounding weird or crazy? When I like walk outside or I go anywhere, I feel other, like, I'm trying to put this into words and not sound weird. If you're a spiritual person, you'll understand what I'm saying, but if you're not, it's gonna sound really woo-woo and like weird. But I can go to a room and I can feel the energy of the people around me. Like I can feel if someone's sad, I can feel if someone's angry, I can feel if someone's pissed off at me for whatever it is, and that's in a sense that's called claircognizance. If you don't know what claircognizance is, look up clairvoyance. There's all these different type of clairs, and I feel like I have that one. And it's hard. So when I go outside, I can feel, I don't want to say it, but I know in this sense, unfortunately, in this neighborhood, I'm not that welcomed. I don't know how to put it. And you can say, oh, how do you know that? Well, I sometimes, like, when people drive by, unless it's just that's who they are, they, like, zoom, understood, that's just who they are. And sometimes I feel like when people drive, they're gonna, like, run me off the road. Like, when I'm walking Bonnie, they, like, purposely, you know, and some of these people don't have license plates on their cars. I used to walk. I used to take her on walks when I first moved here. I took her on walks at like 10 o'clock at night because I was like, oh, it's a small town in Vermont. No one's gonna know. Like, yeah. But I did go to Burlington yesterday. I will be honest, it was nice to get to be in a city environment again. It's not as crowded. It's not as crowded as, like, say, Miami or New York, obviously. But Burlington, Vermont is like the metropolitan area of Vermont, or the most metropolitan it'll get. So if you've never been to Vermont, like, I will say, if you're not into country style living, meaning, like, I'm talking like large, vast expanses of land, like rolling hills, farms. It's very, very rural. I think agriculture is like the main facilitator of income in this town or this state. That and tourism as well. So you think like mountain biking, hiking. I don't know what else. Skiing, obviously, in the winter months. And yeah, so that is kind of like the biggest proponent of, like, I think tourism. But yeah, I got to go to Burlington and I got to have a creamy, and it was so good. Oh my god! Like, if you come to Vermont, you have to get. From what I understand, like, there's the Vermont maple syrup is really good. Ben and Jerry's, their flagship store, is here. I'm like giving a PSA on what Vermont is like. Not necessarily the town I'm in, but like Vermont in general. It is, I will say, it's obviously not Miami. It's not Florida. The beaches, there's no beach. It's inland, right? There's Lake Champlain. One thing that's cool, they have this area, there's North Hero Island, South Hero Island. New York is like a hop, skip, and a jump away. It's not like New York, like, start spreading the news, I'm leaving, that, Broadway style vibe. No, it's more like an offset of, like, literally rural life again, and that's a city called Plattsburgh. And what else? I will say I did go to Plattsburgh maybe like a few months ago to get blood work done at, I think it was LabCorp. And let me tell you, it's so weird. Like, that would be a good experiment. You take a city girl and you put her, or a city person, you put them in like the most rural area ever, like anywhere, and you watch them like survive and whatnot. Like, I feel like that's my story, to be honest. And yeah, it's been interesting. I've contemplated getting like a bike or a scooter. I'm the kind of person, I'm not kidding, I literally make like pros and cons lists, like, for everything. I literally have a pros and cons of, like, getting a car versus not getting a car, moving out of state versus not moving out of state, going abroad versus not going abroad, or having a car versus a scooter and a bike. I legit have like a table on my phone. If you've never seen the show Jane the Virgin, I'm literally Jane, except I haven't been artificially inseminated with a baby. I mean, at least not yet, and I pray to God I never will be. Because that would be really crazy and freaky, but that show was a telenovela, so I hope that never happens to me, ever. I've actually gotten scared once going to the gynecologist because I thought, oh my god, what if she, like, does that? But no. That's, like, fantastical, magical thinking, and that's not gonna happen. So, yeah, but I did contemplate that. At one point I was gonna get a car, but then I did not even know, there was someone that kind of advised me, not necessarily against it, but he gave some good advice on the car buying process, because I did not know, like, about banks lending money and this and this, and then the like the car insurance. Like, there's so many things that go into having a car, And to be honest, I'm kind of like scared too, and this sounds crazy, but like if you've watched my other videos, when I was living in Miami and I was going through stalking, hacking, all the weird stuff, right? The cars that I would get into, whether it was like a Lyft or even my car, I would keep the windows open because I put it this way, I thought someone like was tampering with my car. I had a Toyota CHR, and I called it the Batmobile because it literally legit looked like it looked like the Batman Batmobile. And yeah, it was blue on the inside, amazing like upholstery, like blue threads and like blue dashboard. It was so freaking cool. And that was the car I wanted. And so I sold it when and if anyone watches and they're wondering, why doesn't she have a car? I sold it when I went in 2022, I left Miami to go to Philadelphia. And then from Philly, I went to Virginia. I came to Vermont. And so I didn't ever in Philadelphia, I didn't need a car. They have like mass transit. I just used like the subway system and like the metro system and the buses. I will say here, I do appreciate, even though Burlington is like an hour away, I do appreciate like the bus system here. Like it's very clean. Like I have nothing bad to say about the buses. The bus drivers are actually pretty friendly. They're really nice. The system, like I download an app, I scan the QR code, and then it deducts money. Let me tell you, when I was in DC or Virginia, but I would visit DC or whatever, sometimes you'd have to go to the machine, you put money in, they have like a Metro card, and I think if I remember correctly, bless you, I downloaded, they had an app, like a Metro app, and I'm gonna be honest, that sucked. The Metro, like the trains were super clean themselves. Like DC, I will say, had like one of the most clean transit systems I've ever seen. Like it was spotless. There were guards everywhere, like security guards everywhere. I will say the people, the information kiosk desk, they weren't, I don't know, I would like ask for help and stuff. They didn't seem that nice. The transit people in Philadelphia were actually super nice, super helpful, super friendly, talkative. The ones in DC kind of weren't. They kind of kept to themselves, which is interesting. But and I'm sorry, when it's the morning, I accumulate a lot of phlegm in my throat. I don't know why. I think it's called postnasal drip. I get like a lot of like sinus congestion here, almost to the point where like my what's it called, the frontal sinus here is like painful. It sounds weird, but like my eyebrows will be painful to touch. It's been like that for years. I take Benadryl at night, and hopefully it just Benadryl sinus, sorry, and hopefully it subdues it. But yeah, back to the transit thing. Yeah, I don't have a car. Like I just, and let me tell you that it really puts a damper on things. And to be honest, ever since everything that I've gone through with like hacking, stalking, blah 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 blah, harassment, blah blah blah, whatever. I was nervous to get in cars. I'm being like dead honest. Like I'm nervous sometimes. Like if some guy ever asks me on a date. Another reason why I'm kind of not dating now is because I don't really trust people that much. I was trying it before and going the casual route, but like getting in people's cars. I literally I got in one guy's car for a date, and I'm never doing this again. I'm never getting a guy's car again until I know him. Like know him. And I mean like talking, video chatting, whatever. And I don't consider OnlyFans, and yes, I am doing OnlyFans. If you have a problem with that, I'm not gonna like I'm not even doing it to the extent that some women do it. And yeah, I'm just different, and that's kind of why my whole shtick was like, OnlyFans angel or whatever, because I do enjoy intimacy. I do like sex. I don't know if I forgot if I could say sex on YouTube or not. YouTube needs to create like I don't know, like an app for like not adult content, but the more like, I don't know, controversial, but like, you know how they have like YouTube Kids? They need to create like another YouTube app where like, well, kind of Flip is kind of like that. I'm gonna be honest. Flip is very like, if you don't know what Flip is, it's an app that's it's user generated content, and basically like you are promoting products, and that's what the flip aspect of it is, like you're doing a flip review. And but then also you get monetized right away, which is really cool. I've never experienced monetization before. And then you get to post about pretty much anything. The biggest thing now are debates, and people share their ideas, and they share their opinions on those ideas. It's pretty freaking cool. Like, I mean, and it's nice to hear from people, not just like super, super wealthy people, like influencers that make a shit ton of money that are being paid to say like a promotion. These are people living their lives. Like, there's a girl that's like does DoorDash, but she also does flip, and she also does something else. There's, who else do I follow? There was a lady the other day that I watched that she looked like she was from Vermont, but I don't know. But she had like blonde hair, older woman, probably in her 60s or 70s, and she just talks about her life. And very natural, very raw, organic, and I'm like, that is so appealing to me, to see people, not just like a girl in a bikini who, is promoting makeup. But like, no offense to people promoting, I mean, I love makeup, and fashion I do enjoy fashion, not high fashion, but like, fashion, whatever. But it's really cool to see that. But anyways, back to what I was saying about transit and whatnot, and dating. So yeah, but I purposely have put a pause on dating because I get, it's hard to trust people, and I realize as a person I'm way too trusting. And getting into cars, I'm like, that would be a stupid idea. But literally, I got into one guy's car once, and there was weird shit coming out of his air vents. I don't know what it was, but I could barely freaking breathe and it wasn't a panic attack, trust me. I know the difference between like a panic attack or anxiety attack or whatever. This was legit, like, I could not freaking breathe. Like, I felt like I was gonna suffocate. My throat got really dry. I don't know if it was aerosol or like, and yeah. So and there's weird people out there that I'm telling you, there are weird people who are not dealing with a full deck of cards in their head, and people hurt people, and they annoy people, and they harass them, and it's sad. It's really sad. But going back to the car thing, yeah, I don't have a car, and going on the bus yesterday and just like getting to be in society, and I walked around. There's a street called Church Street, and it's like, I should have recorded it, but then I'm gonna be honest, like, I'm not used to doing. I know that there's some people who get like a GoPro and they like, they're like, look at me in the whatever, I felt weird recording myself by myself. Like, I was gonna post it, but I decided not to. It was like me, it would look like a park. It was kind of just like a walkway, like a transit walkway, and there was it was near the Performing Arts Center, and there were like a bunch of like, it was greenery and trees, and there was one guy sitting on a bench, and he smiled at me. But yeah, so I was just like holding my phone and like, oh, I'm here in this part, and I went like this, like it did a whole circular whatever, and I don't know, I just felt weird. I felt weird vlogging in public. And it's funny because there's some people who are a lot more confident in that respect, and but I'm not used to doing that, and I know, and I recognize that some people would like to hear people's stories and would like to see life in public in another state. And let me tell you, when I first decided, I think it was I wish I had thought about, when I moved to Virginia, I wish I had given it more thought, because when I went from Philly to Virginia, I moved to Virginia because my parents had moved there. I'm not talking to my parents anymore. I'm not going to go too much into that. I'm kind of like estranged from my family. I'm not going to get into it. It's a sad story, and put it this way, my family is not really who they say they are. We'll just keep it at that. And they kind of, I think threw me under the rug, so to speak. Don't eat. What do you have in your mouth? I'm sorry, Bonnie has she's breaking her little toy into pieces, and all the fluff is coming out now. So yeah, and I didn't research, like, when I looked into Falls Church, because that's where I think they were moving to Arlington, and I was like, Arlington, Virginia. I'm like, what the heck is Arlington, Virginia? But that's where they chose to move to. So I went from Philadelphia. I'm gonna fix my hair for a second. I went from Philadelphia. My phone is resting on Bonnie's butt. So I went from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to Arlington, Virginia. and not Arlington, sorry, Falls Church, more specifically an area called Mosaic. And I wish I had done more research on that city and that state because I hated it. I don't know, I hated it. I also was going through a lot, meaning like, please don't look up the word gang stalking, please don't. You're gonna like, your heart's gonna break and you're gonna be like, oh my god, this shit goes on in our society. Yes, it does. And I have been a victim of that 100% wholeheartedly. And you can call it, oh, psyops, this and that, whatever it is. There's no good intentions behind it at all, zero. And I've had to make peace with that. And you know, I feel very blessed and protected to, you know, be psychologically savvy, if you will, because you need to be, because a lot of it is psychological warfare, meaning like, I don't want to get into the nitty gritty, but just if you want to go look it up, but it's like people in disguise, you know, gang stalking, like trying to get into your head and like say stupid shit when they walk by you, and, you know, a car in a certain color or whatever. It's stupid. I'm not kidding. It's almost incomprehensible and unbelievable that adults at our age, like my age or younger, would partake in it. But money talks, I guess. Bribes, you know, bribes talk. You know, for me, no, let me tell you, if anyone paid me, if they're like, I'll give you $1 million if you annoy that girl standing in the corner, I'd be like, shove it up your butt and donate it to a charity. That's what I would say. But that's just me. Bless you. Bless you. That was a big sneeze. That was a big sneeze. Oh my goodness. Her little tail. I love when her tail moves. Like she knows if I'm like being silly with her, she'll move her tail like that. It's so cute. I love you. So yeah, but I feel really grateful for the people who do videos. Like, so if you go on YouTube and you put any state, like let's say you put Ohio or Pennsylvania or Texas, people, more often than not, there will be a video on YouTube showing, like doing a walking tour of that town. Most often it's like a real estate agent doing it, but let me tell you, I am so grateful for that, because unless you're someone who's like, I'm sorry if this sounds crude, like balls to the wall, meaning like you don't give a crap, and like you just, not give a crap, but you're just like, F it, I'm gonna do it anyways. That's like basically, you know, you're moving with no idea of what it might be like, right? So you have to be mindful of that, because for me, it's like, if I had done my research, I moved up here because I had gotten hired at a job, at a preschool. It was a nature-based preschool. And like, I was so happy. I was so excited. And I'm very like, I'm a go-getter. Like, I'm very resilient in the sense, like, you can knock me down and I'll get right back up again, like 100%. So, look at your toy now. So, here you go. Ugh, I want to use the hair in my mouth. But yeah, so I told myself I'm going to start over, I'm going to go to Vermont, whatever, and then I get here, and I did visit here once. I will be honest, I did visit here one time, and I believe, I think I drove from Virginia to Vermont, and then I went to Maine for an interview, and then I went back down, and I wanted to find a small town. I wanted to just try small town living, because, you know, I am impressionable. I don't know, she just decided to smell my face. I wanted to see what, you know, living in a small town would be like. And the school had 2 locations, one in Georgia and one in St. Albans. And so I, yeah. I love you. I also thought it was cool that St. Albans was, he's the saint of refugees, I think, right? Hold on, Echo. What does St. Alban represent?
According to
Let me see,
Wikipedia,
hold on.
Saint Alban is venerated as the first recorded British Christian martyr, for which reason he is considered to be the British proto-martyr.
Oh, of martyrs? Or of martyrs? I thought it was for refugees or something. I don't know. But I was just like, oh, okay, that's apropos. Because I felt like I kind of fled from Miami to, in search of a better life. But yeah, it's the area I'm in, I've been told I don't know if it's about safety, but I've been told that I have to be careful, and stuff like that. And it's been really hard, like not having a car and stuff. And I still, even if I had money, I don't even know if I'd still get a car here, to be honest, because I don't know. I don't want to say I don't trust people. It's just, I haven't been treated the night, like, I've tried to smile at people. In Burlington, they were a little bit nicer, I'll be honest. Here, I've smiled at people, they don't smile back. I'm like the odd girl out, I guess, which is understandable, because it's like, why would a girl come all the way from Miami to go to Vermont, right? What are you gonna do? I feel like she's gonna start burrowing into the, I don't know. And yeah, so, and I get that. It's a weird story. Like, I didn't think I would go through it either. But I am. So I've made the best of it, which I was going to give some updates to things. I have gotten better at doing my dishes. I realized that, and it's so true, your home is your safe haven, right? We all go to our homes, and that is our legit, like, safe haven. And we escape from the world. We're in our own enclosed space, right? And if your home is a mess, right? If there's clutter, it's chaos, and you could say, oh, that's organized chaos. More often than not, that's going to be a representation of your mind, right? So when I just, like, wasn't cleaning stuff because I was so tired, I was so fatigued, I think for other reasons as well, not just like health reasons, and I'm not going to get into that because that's more conspiratorial, if anything. This is her hot dog bun thing. Do you want to show the hot dog bun? That's her hot dog toy. So, what was I going to say? Yeah, so your home is a reflection of you, right? And if you don't take care of it, it just shows that your mind, it's what I'm trying to say is, the way you care for your home or upkeep it is a direct reflection of how you're taking care of yourself. So let's see if she did poopy. Did she do poopy or pee-pee? Oh no, she didn't. So I've been taking care of it a lot more lately than I did. She loves to look outside the window. This is like her favorite thing to do. She looks outside the window like all the time. Let me clean the fluffy stuff. And yeah, so I figured that I would be more conscientious about taking care of the home, because even if no one's visiting it, or I don't have someone coming over or whatever, like, I still want to make sure that I take good care of it, because that, like I said, that is a reflection of me, right? So I'm just putting, she has her wet pee-pee pad. Whenever I do the pee-pee pad, I put one of these things, which is like a dryer sheet, and it's fragrant. Okay. Maybe I should put it in there. So that's that. But yeah, and so I don't have any dishes in the sink. It's clean. When I went to Burlington, I did get a bottle of wine. I got this one. It's really interesting. I feel like, so Vermont came out with this, speaking of wine, changing topics, Vermont came out with this, like, campaign for I'll have one less or something. And it's about not drinking a lot or something. And I don't consider myself a heavy drinker, like, at all. I drink at most only with dinner. So I was raised and brought up like a European, essentially. Like, I was raised like how Europeans, like, we had wine with dinner, like, all the time. Hello. Go. This dog, she's such a Velcro dog. She follows. quick. She follows. Oh, she follows me everywhere. I was raised to have like wine with dinner. Almost like we did it all when I was back home living with my parents. I would have like literally we would go out to dinner all the time, and I feel really blessed and fortunate for that. And I think that's where my love for food and the culinary arts and hospitality came into play, because I loved, like, we would like literally we'd get the wine menu, and then because I worked as a server, I would like peruse the menu, and then I would look at like, okay, I would say Mendoza, Argentina, Malbec, or Montepulciano de Abruzzo, or Sangiovese, whatever. So I really grew to love, like, I would scan the page with my Vivino app, and then I would sift, and literally if you don't have the Vivino app and you like wine, please do yourself a favor and download it. I was trying to free up more space on my phone so I'd have more storage, and I sadly had to delete the Vivino app. But then when I went to Burlington and I went to this place that reminds me so much of Whole Foods, it's called City Co-op Market, and I was looking at wine and I was like, nope, I need to download my Vivino app. So I did, and literally you can scan a whole page of a menu and they will give you the ratings of all the wine. So yeah, which I think is pretty cool. So anyways, I was literally raised to have a glass of wine, like with dinner, with food. And if you're not someone who's into wine, I understand that. Some people don't give a diddly squat about it, but I look at it from a process of like a sommelier would, you know. And if you don't know what a somm is, go check out the documentary Somm, SOMM, on Netflix. But as of late, I keep seeing these ads come up on YouTube, like, I'm gonna have, and it's these two women, and she's like, oh, and she's like pouring wine into her friend's glass, and she's like, and I even know it by heart now. She's like, no, I'll just have one less. And I'm like, oh my God. And I just press skip, because I'm like, I'm assuming they're doing that because apparently, I guess, a lot of people drink here in Vermont. I'm talking like drunk. I'm not kidding. I had a guy come to my door at 10 o'clock at night, and he had a Bud Light in it, like a can, in his hand, and you could smell the alcohol in his breath. His eyes were bloodshot, and like, I forgot, he told me that he knew my dad. That's what he said. He's like, your dad and I had a beer on the lawn. And I'm like, so I actually stopped. I know this is gonna sound crazy. I like held his hands and I like prayed with him because I felt sorry for him. And because like he came to my door and he had like a thing on his hip playing like really loud music, and it was raining that night, and I'm like, this guy just randomly, he was in like camo gear too. He was like in camouflage gear, like hunting gear, I guess, or outfit, and like he had a trucker hat on, and I was like, okay. And you could tell he was drunk, and then he started talking to me about his girlfriend, and then how he has a brother that he wanted to like set me up with, and I'm like, how do you know me? You know, I'm like, I was so confused. But I felt sorry for him, and I'm like, you're never gonna talk to me ever again unless you are not drinking like that. So I'm assuming when they mean drinkers, they mean like people getting drunk. I don't drink wine to get drunk. So if you, in wine culture, if you want to get schooled on that, it's usually a 6-ounce pour, or a 9-ounce pour. And that's the traditional pour, is a 6-ounce pour. If you want to do more, maybe 8 ounces, 9 ounces. I used to pour 6 ounces when I was a server, and that's the appropriate amount. And I don't even do that. I start off with like a 3-ounce, and I taste it, I swirl it, I smell it, and then I usually, what I like to do, my routine is like, once it gets to like 7 o'clock, I'll put my French baguette out because I love French baguette. I'll take a baguette bread and I'll put it in the oven, I'll toast it, and then I'll roast some garlic. And because when we used to go to Macaroni Grill in Miami, Florida, we used to like order roasted garlic on the side for the bread. If you've never been to Macaroni Grill, you're doing yourself a disservice. I love Macaroni Grill. It's like one of those franchise chain restaurants that are like, it's better than Olive Garden in my opinion. That's just me. And the servers are like a lot friendlier too. So that's just, I mean, I only went to Olive Garden maybe once or twice for like a friend's birthday when she turned 21 or something. She wanted to go to Olive Garden, but that's just me. So anyways, but I put garlic in the oven, and then I'll get a plate with olive oil, balsamic vinegar, balsamic glaze, coarse sea salt, ground black pepper, whole black pepper, and then after the garlic's roasted, I'll smash it with the back of a fork, and then it kind of becomes like almost like a pate, if you will. I really want to try to make garlic confit, but you need like a shit ton of like olive oil, and you need to put it like in a ramekin, and you just let it roast in the oven in the olive oil, and it's supposed to be so good. You can use it as like a spread or whatever. But yeah, so that's like my little routine and ritual. I'll pour my 3 ounces. Like I'll do either a red cab, or if you don't know, a Cabernet, I should say, or I'll do like a rosé. I try to vary it up every week, but I do that. I only drink a glass of wine with food, and so that's that. I forgot I don't know how I got on the topic of wine, of like mass transit to wine to here, Bibber. Here, Bibber, come on. She's looking outside the window. I love when I see her little head peek. Go. So yeah, that's kind of like my routine and ritual, and then I'll cook. Lately though, let me tell you, cooking takes so much work. Oh my god. Like, I love to cook. I really do. Like, it's funny, and I sucked at cooking. If anyone met me, like, if I was in Virginia, I literally set the fire alarm twice because I burned stuff. I burned myself yesterday on my finger when I put waffles. I went to this like brunch place in Burlington, and I ordered chicken and waffles, and then I put one of the waffles into the oven just to like reheat it, and then the waffle fell and it legit almost started on fire, and I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, sweet Jesus. So then I took it out from the oven, and I removed it, but I did get like burned a little bit here. I always say that when I get burned, it's like a spiritual metaphor for someone literally like I got burned, and I wonder in what respect that is. So who knows? But what else is there? I'm trying to think. How about mass transit? Oh, but I will say yes. The biggest takeaway I think from my video would be today is that if you ever, and I've said this before in my very first vlog I ever did, if you ever move somewhere, do yourself a favor and check, unless you're very like spontaneous and you don't mind just like willy-nilly going and moving wherever, without like checking it out, I recommend go stay there for like a week at least, because then you're gonna get a good idea of what the flow is, what the feel is, a certain neighborhood, because I didn't think it, like moving here, let me tell you, the layout of this, I pay $1,800 for this. I know that sounds well, it's $1,700, but I put it on a credit card. Don't get me on that. That's the way things are right now. It is what it is. I try not to think about it too much, but I say, God's got me in that respect. And I hate the fact that I have to do that, but that's the way things are now. So I make the best of it, But yeah, so it's $1,800 for this. It's a 1 bedroom, 1 bath, and I love the layout of like the living room and then the kitchen. It's the perfect setup, basically. I hate the word setup. I don't know why I get triggered by a few words. Setup, ultra, tricks, tips. Like there's certain words I get triggered by, so forgive me if I say it and I'm like, but anyways, yeah, and speaking of which, I'm like, I need to, and I cannot afford $1,800 anymore at all. And I'm not going to ask the guy to lower the rent here because I know they won't. Because I pay for utilities. The internet is included, the water's included, the air conditioning, pest control. I will say I've had a lot of pests, so no pun intended. Or maybe pun intended. I found there's carpenter ants. I found spiders, yellow jacket bees, regular bees, these little bugs that I don't know what they are. So I don't know, maybe he can cut me some leeway. I don't know. I actually extended my lease. I was supposed to leave in June and I stayed. But I miss, like, it really is, like, when you have transit, it makes it so much easier. And like I order my groceries through Instacart, and so when I do that I have to pay. And I'm really grateful, because if they didn't have Instacart here, I would be screwed. I would have been screwed, because where I am, my location, which I may do a walk one day to show that, it's 20 minutes from here, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. And I don't have like if I got a scooter, I'm so scared. Let me tell you, from working in the hospital, I've seen people come in from the hoverboard things. The kids, when they had the hoverboards, like they're with the 2 wheels on the side and and skateboards. I've seen so many kids come in with accidents and traumas and broken bones through that, and also the regular scooter as well. So I'm kind of not privy to getting a scooter like that. I thought about getting more of like the Vespa scooter you can like sit on and there's a seat. I feel a little bit safer if I did that, but I feel like it would honestly, I feel like it would get stolen in the where I am right now, because the garage I have is not locked. It's like you turn it and whoop, you lift it up and that's it. So I don't know. For me, I'm itching to move to another apartment, but the sad part is that for 1 bedroom 1 bath, unless I live in like a very small town again where it's super cheap, it's probably going to cost another like $1,600 to $1,900, like give or take, because that's a 1 bedroom 1 bath, and I would probably, and I for the life of me, I don't want to rent a room. Oh my god, I do not want to rent a room in someone's home, because then you share. So on Furnish Finder, if you don't know what Furnish Finder is, that's the app that I use to find this apartment. And basically it's for like travel nurses and healthcare professionals, and it's almost like if you're booking a VRBO, but it's like for short-term stays. So you can do, some people do 1 month minimum, some do 3 months, whatever. I actually had the idea of like not doing a long-term stay somewhere and doing like 1 month and seeing how that goes and extending it. But the thing is, then I'd have to pack everything up again and leave, and I'm like, it's so cumbersome, especially like when you're a single person by yourself moving. It's so cumbersome. There are some services that I've seen, like pods. They bring this giant crate and they pack all your stuff into it, and then they just ship it off. So it's different than like a regular moving company and getting a truck. I have considered that, and it seems a lot cheaper too. It's like $800 or $900, which again doesn't seem that cheap right now. But yeah, I definitely, if I move somewhere, I want to be able to like research it better. I thought about North Carolina. I feel like North Carolina, you need a car. I have a therapist that lives in North Carolina, and I was like, and she was so sweet, but I'm like, I can't just move somewhere because a therapist lives there. You know what I mean? Like that would be like, in fact, that would be weird, because that's like a patient, clinician, you know, it's supposed to be therapeutic, not, you know, so she made it sound like it's a nice place to live, but I don't think I would want to do that. And I considered Florida, but it's such a long drive to Florida. But let me tell you, I would give anything to live like on a coastal town in like a cottage like this, you know, and go outside and be able to like feel the sun and sit on a beach and read a book on the sand and just hear the sound of the ocean. I feel like I need to be near water. I know that sounds weird, but I feel like I'm called, it's like Moana, right? Like I feel like it's like, and it calls me, right? That's what it feels like. And yeah, so I'm kind of debating on where to move to next. I thought of Philly, but I don't know. It's like, do I want to do that again? Because I've been there, done that. I didn't have the best experience there as well. Some not so nice people were there. And what else? Trying to think. Georgia, I've never been to. I was considering Georgia. I've never been to Georgia. I don't know. I'm considering it. You know, I don't know. I'm just curious as to what that would be like, because you know how they say Southern hospitality, so I'm kind of scared we go to like South Carolina, like I don't know if those were considered Confederate states, because I didn't think racism still exists, but apparently it still does, and I don't want to move to a state that's like, you know, kind of, I don't want to say racist, but like, I don't know, I'm kind of scared of like that kind of stuff, to do that, because you never know, like, just, it's crazy to think that people that eat, like, apparently the KKK still exists. I didn't know this. There's literally people who legit think, like, white people who, like, do you know, oh my god, I don't want to get into it, because I can't get into it, I can't, because then I'm gonna get angry, and I don't want to start my day off, like, all impassioned and whatever, so, so yeah, but yeah, I'm trying to figure out where to move to. I honestly, I don't know, I had the idea of, oh yeah, I can do that and just, you know, try a different city every month and see how that goes, and maybe, yeah, if I did live in someone's house, but I don't know, that would be such a gamble, you know, because you're living in a stranger's home, and maybe people do that, but I don't want to do that, like, and given my situation of all I've gone through, when I say that I legit was, like, stalked and hacked and stuff, like, I wholeheartedly mean it. Like, I don't care if it was as a joke or a prank, it was real to me. So, like, I don't know. living in someone's home, like, and then Bonnie, like, it wouldn't even work. Like, and plus me doing OnlyFans or whatever, that would not that would not bode well. With you know, I could just picture myself like, you know, no, I can't. Because that's what I'm doing right now for the time being. I would ideally, long term, I mean, my goal is I'd love to become a trauma-informed therapist. That would be really nice. And, you know, it is nice, I will say, I've been tapping into my creative side more, which is kind of like the world I grew up in. I grew up in like a performing arts home, basically. Like my brother he was a jazz vocalist. He did theater. I only did, honestly, because I used to be really close to my brother, I only did musical theater and stuff because of him. I didn't give a diddly squat about musical theater. I loved my brother so much, and I wanted to follow in his footsteps because I thought he was really funny. He was the only person that could make me laugh. So I literally did theater because I was into dance. I did ballet. That was my thing. Can't say I was like great at it, but I was on point. That was treacherous and horrible. But like regular ballet and lyrical contemporary, I think I did pretty decently. I was pretty fluid and graceful in that respect. But I have been tapping into my creative side a lot more, which is interesting. I feel like I'm living the starving artist life without like meaning to, like unintentionally. Not to say I mean, you kind of do, like OnlyFans. I mean, the way that I'm doing it, you know, I wanted to do a more like, I don't know, boudoir, burlesque, creative dance, like sensual dance thing versus be like, because everyone, let me tell you, everyone, I don't know if I could say pornography on YouTube, but I feel like those kind of girls are a dime a dozen. People you know, doing all the whatever, like but it's like, what would differentiate someone from someone else? And I'm like, well, I love dance. I love, you know, I thought of even cosplay because I was like, oh, I like Star Wars. I like Disney stuff. What if I like sexified a Disney princess, right? Which sounds really bad because they're supposed to be, you know, like in society, we're trying to move away from, you know, over sexualizing women, right? Because women are viewed as sex objects, right? To an extent, but it's like, what if we took back that and we owned our power instead of doing content for the male gaze? What if we do it for ourselves, but they're just the active participants of that? You know what I mean? That's kind of the way that I was going about it. And I may not get a lot of people, or fans as they call them, because of that, but to me it's like, it's almost like, I'll put it this way, it's like if I was a consumer wanting not necessarily explicit content, but maybe erotic content, I wouldn't go for the guy that's like, you know, super graphic. I mean, I'll be honest, if you haven't watched my video on porn, like my take on it, go watch it, enlighten yourself. But I don't have an issue with it. I don't think, you know, I will say that some of it is not realistic, but the kind of stuff that I would watch is more, that I do, if I do, is not so crass or like overly crude and graphic. I mean, I've seen it all. Like I've seen it, but, and you would think, oh, she's such an innocent girl, she would not know. I've seen it. That's the thing. You can't really knock something until you've tried it, and you don't really know about something until you've experienced it yourself. So like, or watched it or whatever. So yeah, I've watched a wide variety of content in that respect. But if I were to like, if I was on the flip side of it, and I was like, as a woman, as a consumer looking for erotic content or sensual content, I wouldn't want the guy that's like, look at my whatever. I'd want the more like there's literally a guy on Instagram, he's cooking, but he makes it a really erotic experience. Like he slaps the flour bag, and he squeezes the tomato and the juice comes out, and it looks super like sensual. That is more like enticing to me than the guy, you know, I don't know. That's just me. But that's the way in which something is filmed and the context of it. So I'm going about it in that respect, adding this like mysterious allure to it. But some people get really, they're into it, bro. Like they, you know, the adult world, adult industry is interesting. But that's what I'm doing for the time being, like for now. And I have had, thank goodness, which I'm not going to complain because I have to be grateful, it is generating some passive income for me. Not enough to say, like, I guarantee you, I might only make, which sounds crazy, like maybe $500 to $600 a month now. And that's like 1 week's worth of pay for like, you know, a regular person doing a regular job. But, you know, it's still something, you know, it's better than nothing. I'm not going to complain in that respect. Because I could either have no money at all, and if you say, oh, but you're selling your soul, you're selling your body, well, I mean, yeah, I can understand that, but I'm also expressing myself sexually in a way that feels comfortable for me, and I'm not. And if anybody that knows me, if you've, you know, like there's been requests that I've had to do certain things. Like one guy, and I'm sorry if this sounds too, it's very suggestive. He's like, "Can you do a mother-daughter thing? Like, can you?" And I'm like, "No, I don't even live with my like." Just no. I've been asked, "Oh, can you hit me? Like, can you demoralize me or humiliate me with your words, and then I'll slap my balls, like whatever." And I'm like, no. um I've been asked, what else? One guy wanted me to role play cheating. I said no. um I'm just trying to think of weird stuff, some weird fetishes as well, and I said no. I've turned down things where I literally did not want to do them because it didn't align with me, like morally. I haven't, in fact, I left the theater world and performing arts world because when I was in college, in my first semester of college, I went to an arts school. I said, no, I'm not going to do this, and I left that world because I felt like there were things that went against my morals and stuff. So I will say I have ventured out a little bit more in terms of content. I'm not going to say what exactly, and people would probably disagree with me for doing so, but I tried to do it in a classy manner, if that makes sense. So I did do that, and I do love lingerie. I love dressing in lingerie, and it's fun, and you know, if it turns someone on, then great. I am trying to navigate, how do I, which I feel like this should be a vlog now for I started a new channel strictly for OnlyFans, but I feel like I am trying to navigate two things. Like, one is the aspect of building relationships with people on these websites, meaning like, how do I not overstep the boundaries or make someone feel like, you know, they want, like, because the thing is, one of the things I offer is like, I think I'm gonna start something called chill and chat, where I actually, like, you can chat with people and they will pay, you know, people pay to talk with you or whatever, and I'm like, hey, that's a good gig, you get to talk to people or whatever and get paid for it, that's a good gig, you know, why not? And I love talking to people anyways, so, but I sometimes feel bad because, like, I don't want to be disingenuous, you know, or disingenuine or inauthentic, because it's hard, you know, because it's like, how do I say this without sounding mean or like selfish, you know? I don't want to sound inauthentic, and you're literally, and these are men, so it's like you're building relationships with people, right? Because these are people and they have feelings, so it's like, I don't want to exploit their feelings or use them for the sake of a monetary transaction. And that's kind of what I feel like I'm doing. But I told myself yesterday, I reminded myself, it's like, Ashley, think of it like if they were a client at a restaurant, right? Like a regular. And your regulars, you get to know them really well, right? You get to know what they like. You get to know about their family. Like I once, which looking back now, maybe I don't know how professional that was. There was a family that I actually got so close to that I taught their daughters yoga and dance. So, which I didn't know, so that wasn't personal. It was professional because it wasn't anything, but I considered them almost like extended family at that point. But it's the same thing, is that I don't want, and especially the thing is, what I'm selling is, you know, intimacy in a sense, you know, and the conversations I'm having with some of these guys, it's very intimate, and I don't want them to get the wrong idea and have them think, you know, I like them when all I'm doing is offering a service, you know. So I do get kind of nervous about that, or like leading someone on to make them think that I like really like them, but I'm just offering them companionship for a cost or whatever. And I don't mean, like, when I say companionship, I don't mean escorting. I'm not doing that. I'm not an escort. I would never. That's the difference. But like, it's all virtual, all virtual. So that, and then also too, trying to navigate. If a woman subscribes, there is something called shout for shout, or something where like you shout out one person and then they shout out you or whatever. But I don't know, I'm kind of just like, and then that, like, I don't want to, is that discriminatory? Like, do I offer services to women too? But I'm not gay, so it's like, you know, like, I'm straight, and I'm not bi or whatever. Like, I respect women or whatever, but I can never like engage in sexual stuff with a woman because I'm not, it wouldn't be genuine because I'm not, you know, gay. So I thought about that too because it's an open forum. Anyone can subscribe to your page. So I don't know. I'm trying to navigate that as best as I can. But I am grateful for the income it's generated. Not a lot. It's not, I don't, and I'm doing it, I'm not doing it in the sense that I want to go viral or anything. It would be cool to say, you know, I get some, at least maybe $1,000 a month. That would be nice. That's my goal, is to try to reach 1,000, which is, I don't know what I'm at right now, but, which you think, oh, 1,000, that's not a lot. That's very low income. Like if I did 1,000 a month, that's 12,000 a year. That's like poverty, but it's better than nothing, you know. It'll at least pay the minimum payments on my bills, you know, to keep me sustaining to live and stay, you know, have a roof over my head. I have applied for some contests, which like I feel disingenuous with that too, because there was like some modeling contests where like it's for Maxim, and I don't even know, I think it came across my Instagram feed actually, and I was like, I don't know, I did it on a whim just for fun, and I submitted a picture, and I'm like, why not? But there's a cash prize. In one of them you can go to, there's one you can go to California, one you can go to Miami and Barbados, and the other one is, even though I feel like they picked the Barbados girl already, so I don't know why that contest is still going, but there's that one, California, and the UK, and you can win like $30,000 to $50,000, and I'm like, that would be a blessing, you know. I don't know how the heck I would even get, because you have to fly to do like the photo shoot or whatever, and I'm like, I don't even know how I would be able to get to you know, the UK with that one, with Bonnie, because, and I wouldn't have anyone pet sit her either, because she would have to go with me. But I'm kind of, to be honest, I would love to see the world. I would love to go to Portugal. I would love to go to Chile, Argentina, where else? Like Peru, Spain, and not like live there for a long period of time, but just like to see it. Because I feel like, and especially I'm not married, and I really don't, honestly, it sounds so crazy, because when I was a kid growing up, when I say that I aspired to want to be like a wife, like, which is so sad to me, like as a person, that I aspired to marriage so much, legitimate, like instead of aspiring to be a good human, I was like, I need to be married, no, it's like so silly to me looking back, and like now I just aspire to be a good human and do the best that I can. So yeah, but I'm not married, so I'm like, I can legit, because once you do all that in your relationship, you have to like it sounds so bad, you have to think about the other person, and you have to factor in their life into yours, and it's like, I just want my life, you know. Sometimes I wonder, yeah, would it be nice to have companionship, but let me tell you, the dating pool, it's rough. I have never met so many men who are either on the down low, or they're bi and they want to see what it's like with a woman, and they lie to you about it, and they think that you're stupid, so they continue to lie about it, and I'm like, no, I can't. I will literally keep someone at arm's length on purpose, because the fact, like, there's like a guy on Flip who legit, and I respect him so much, because he owns his realness, you know, he owns his authenticity. He's gay, but like he you know, he owns it, and he's proud of it, and he's married or whatever. I have so much respect for him, because he's not out here like trying to put a mask, like, no, because it's not fair to us as women that like if we get interested in somebody and the guy pretends to be straight and he's gay, like, can you imagine the women that get married? Imagine the women that get married and they get in relationships with men and the guy's gay. And I will say that I can understand from the man's perspective if they're afraid to come out because of ridicule or scrutiny or being ostracized from their family. I get it. But do you know how much of a sin that is to like carry on a whole like relationship with someone and you don't really love them, and imagine they have kids together, and then one day the guy at 50 years old, he's like, you know, I never loved you and I want to be with a man. Bro, I would be heartbroken. And that's why I'm so careful and conscientious about who I partner up with, because, or even hook up with, because it's like, well, number one, AIDS and sexual health issues, but number two, Like, that would be horrible. That would be very traumatic. Imagine if someone, like, they have kids with someone and they have a life and whatever, and then at 60 years old they find out, hey, by the way, I go both ways, or no. So Bonnie's giving me this look like, what are you doing, baby? So anyways, that's kind of what has been going on in my life as of late. At least I've gotten better at tackling dishes. I never again will leave my dishes piled up like they are. Groceries, I'm trying to figure out if there's a way I can get back onto I was on food stamps. I don't mind saying that. I'm on Medicaid and I'm on food stamps. Is that called food stamps or EBT, SNAP? But they kind of took it away from you because you have to work. I didn't know that. I didn't know that you had to work to keep the which makes sense. You don't want to freeload off the social services and government, right? No. Cooking wise, I want to make, now I want to make garlic confit. Not now, maybe later. I've decided that I'm going to cook earlier in the day than later because I usually start at like 8. What? What is it? She wants playtime. What? What? What are you doing? Are you being silly? Because what happens is that if I start cooking at 9 o'clock at night, I'm not going to be done until 3 hours later. So like midnight. And then I have all this stuff to clean, and then I'm too tired, and then I want to sit on the couch and I want to eat ice cream and cookies or whatever and watch a movie with Bonnie, and then I'm like super like pooped. So I would rather start at like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, even though it's daylight outside, and I would rather start cooking, and then by 7 or 8 o'clock I'm done, have the dishes done, and then 9 o'clock I like winding down, maybe I watch a movie or TV show, and then it's like 10 or 11 o'clock and then I'm going to sleep. So I'm trying to get myself back into a good sleep schedule. This one, health-wise, thank goodness, it's a miracle. It really is. Because she had a fever. She had a really high fever. It was this back in like late January, February, and I have a lot of medical bills to pay because of that. I'm doing OnlyFans to pay for this one. I have to show my lady parts and my bits so I can help keep her happy. And it's funny, I'm living for my dog basically. What? Yes, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you. That's my foot. See, she's so intuitive. She's licking my leg. So I live, for her, so she can get her bark box and she loves bark box. Let me tell you, she loves her bark box. I'm doing all this stuff so she can get her food. And she gets belly rubs. Oh my goodness. But yeah, her lymph nodes have her swelling. It's called lymphadenopathy. Edema is when you have a fluid buildup. Lymphadenopathy is when you have inflammation in your lymph nodes. Speaking of health, she's looking at me so lovingly. She's putting her hand on my leg. Are you stretchies? Thank you so much for those kisses. Speaking of health, I did a blood test yesterday from Oncashore. Let's see if it's legitimate. Hopefully it's not a scam. My insurance covered it. Praise Jesus. I had to pay a $99 fee, right, for the telehealth appointment or whatever. So I did that, and then I had blood drawn, and then I got cancer detection kit. I don't know. The reason why I did that is because I was feeling really tired all the time and fatigued, and I did an at-home test, and it said I had low ferritin, so which that indicates anemia. So I do take an iron supplement. Why'd you poop? Thank you. I don't know if that's sanitary. I'm sorry. I can't help it. What is it? Thank you for the kisses. So she loves to give me kisses. Look at this. She's looking at the inside of my leg. So what was I saying? I lost my train of thought. Oh, so I'm gonna see. Let's see. No. You're so silly. What are you doing? What are you doing? She loves to lick my armpits. I'm not kidding. This sounds so gross. She licks the inside of my armpits, and she loves to lick the inside of my knee. Like that. What are you doing? I don't know what she's doing. Shaky, shaky. Don't flash your butt. See, she loves this. Is her ketchup toy. And it came the other side, the other end of it was a mustard. So this is one thing, and it was like on a string, like a bungee cord kind of thing. And it was a mustard bottle. So anyways, what was I saying? Oh, I'm gonna try to see if I can get a refund for my TEFL course. I don't know if they're gonna allow me to, because some time has passed, because yeah, I wasn't too happy. Well, not too happy, just, how do I say this, not too happy. I signed up to do a teaching English as a foreign language course. Bless you. Ah, why me? You silly lady. Her tail knocked my phone out of my hands. But I did that, and I didn't realize, so I signed up for like they had an a virtual classroom Zoom session where you meet people that were participating in the class together. But I should have thought about it, because I ended up booking it like the first weekend that I started the course, and I should have done the course in its entirety and then done the virtual like workshop practicum. But I was dumb. So sometimes like my decision making, I'm like, I need to be more like thoughtful in that, because I thought, oh, I'll just, it was the first option available, and I was like, okay, let me do that. And then now I'm like sitting $300 later, going, oh crap. Like, and I that's an indication to me. And it's funny, because you would think I'd be excited about teaching English and whatever, but I'm not pushed to do it. I'm more excited to do like OnlyFans content than to do the English thing. I'm just being candid, like, because I get to put cute lingerie on and, be sassy or whatever. So, and the English stuff is, I don't say it's boring. There's people who are really good at it, but like, I guess it doesn't appeal to me as much. So that's a sign for me that I don't know if it's the right path for me. So yeah, medical assisting, I did consider, I would love to learn how to do, like, because I already did like kind of a mini course in that with Coursera. Like I did a course on vital signs and like, how to read your vitals. And that was before, when I was studying to become a physician assistant. And I told myself, oh, let me do this. And also child life, I wanted to when I did child life, I didn't want to know the psychosocial. I wanted to know the medical too, because I think knowing the medical informs the psychosocial, because I was better able to plan interventions based around that, which I know some child life specialists will be like, don't focus on the medical so much, which I needed to. And I can give reasons for that later. But on the professional development front, or end of things, my certification as a child life specialist expires at the end of this year, but really I have to do an audit and review and submit things by October. It's June already, so June, July, August, September, it's like 5 months. I have really 4 months to get 60 professional development unit hours, which also costs money. So and that would be sad if that certification, if I lapse it or whatever, but it is what it is. I've kind of like made peace with that, because it is what it is. I don't even go on LinkedIn anymore, honestly. I was on that so much, and I applied to so many jobs through there, and I really honestly, I think it's who you know. I really do. If you have a connection or an in with somebody at a certain facility or whatever, like, you're good. And then otherwise your resume is gonna go through a machine, and AI is gonna pick the words out, and if you don't meet that criteria, you are bye-bye. There's grads now. There's people who are graduates who have a degree, who went to school, whatever, and they're having trouble finding jobs, So, and I have my bachelor's, and I have the master's, and I'm certified. So, yeah. Anyways, moving forward, I need to get myself going. Mood-wise, I'm kind of like, I'm not like energized, but I'm not under like fatigued, if that makes sense. Kind of just like in the middle. Sitting in uncertainty is weird for me, but I'm getting used to it. And I do need to figure out, I don't know how the heck, it all depends, because the thing is with like Furnish Finder, some of them require deposits, some of them are okay if you put it on a credit card, other ones are not, and they do, which I don't really appreciate, like Zelle and Venmo. I'd rather pay through an online payment system, like, you know, when you go to an apartment and you sign a lease or whatever, and they have like an online portal. That is what I think is better for me, or more conducive to me. I don't want to Venmo or Zelle somebody. Like, even if I did have funds and stuff, I still wouldn't want to do that, because to me, that's under the table. You know what I mean? Like, it's not legitimate. It's kind of dishonest, because you're not paying any taxes. You're not, and mind you, you would think like, oh, I'd want to make it the easier way. No. I want to do it the legitimate. I want a paper trail. I want a receipt. If there's an admin fee, I'll pay the admin fee. So, yeah, that's kind of how I go about it. But we shall see. Time will tell. But I tell myself, man, I'm doing OnlyFans so I could pay for my dogs, so my dog can have a good life. There should be a funny meme for that, like, you know, creators for dogs. OF creators for dog moms on OnlyFans. That's what I should call it. And unite all the dog moms. So, like, if you don't have children and you have a cat or a dog, you're trying to supply their doggy lifestyle. Maybe not doggy style. I was trying to make it funny, but I don't know. I'm not good at telling jokes. But yeah, I'm trying to, so she can get her bark box. Well, also I lie. I actually want to do it so I can keep getting my Stitch Fix, which I actually might do a video for my other channel, the Ashley Kate one, to do like a try on. So apparently when people do like their YouTube channels, they do like Shein try on hauls or whatever. I was like, well, maybe I'll do a Stitch Fix haul. I don't know. I'm not social media savvy. I'll learn how to do it, but I'm not like super tech savvy or social media savvy. So I will try my best. Right? One of my teachers in high school, her name is Gail Garrison. She used to say, I am at my best when I do my best. When I do my best, I am the best. And we repeated that over and over. She was, I am at my best when I do my best. When I do my best, I am the best. So, and she also told us not to complain. She used to make us wear like these little bracelets that were like silicone rubber bands. And it used to say complaint.org. And she used to remind us, don't complain. And it literally, since then, that's been like instilled in my brain forever. So yeah, maybe I might vent sometimes, like especially to people that are like low life, bottom feeder, demon scum hackers, but for the most part I try to keep my head held high and my vision focused on the future, because I do have ideas. I also have an idea for an app that I want to see come to fruition, but I don't even know how to develop an app, and I think it costs a lot of money. So yeah. Anyways, I'm going to get the day going. I don't know. Echo, what time is it? It's probably like 10.
It's 10:30 a.m.
Holy macaronis. It was 9:18. And I started at 9:18, so it's now, well, it says an hour and 13. So God bless you. If you watch my whole video through, God bless you. And if I could bake a cookie for you, I would. Because that is a loyal fan, or a loyal supporter of my channel, which I don't do things to get things. Like, I don't, I will say sales is fun. I'm not gonna lie. Like, when you do sales and you get a sale, you're like, holy shit, you're like, I did that. But I never do things like from a disingenuous place. I wholeheartedly mean it. Like, I want people to feel happy and I want people to enjoy life. So it's like, if someone really does value the stuff I put out and they're a loyal fan, I reward them. And I actually do that on OnlyFans. I actually give people like selfies and stuff, which I told myself, actually don't give so much free stuff away, because there's literally some people on OnlyFans are sharks. Like, they literally it's all about the money, you know. And I find it hard because I'm not someone like naturally greedy. Like, I'm not competitive. I don't like, money has never, this sounds, I don't know if it sounds too elitist, but like, money was never an issue for me, because I was grateful for it, so I attracted it in. Like, when I was a server, I used to get 2 tops, and I used to make like $200 on one table. Or I had a 5 top and they would spend $1,000 and I'd get whatever, $100 off of that. No, 200. Wait, Echo, what is 20% of 1,000?
20% of 1,000 is 200.
200, yeah. I've gotten to $150 to $200 on tips. So I just never, I don't know. And then you see the people that are super greedy and they do it for the money, they don't make money. So I try to go with the mentality. I know I'm trying to make money through the OnlyFans thing and whatever and creativity, but I also want to do it because I want to, it sounds so cheesy, I want to make people happy. Namely men, because it's men. I still don't know how I'd go about if a woman followed me. And I don't want to discriminate and be like, hey, but like, you know, I don't know. Unless they want to buy pay-per-view messages. I mean, because there's women out there who like women. So I can't discriminate and be like, no, you can't look at my channel because, you know. So anyways, I need to get going with my day. And I don't know if I'm going to make pancakes or maybe I'll do tostada. I did tostada. If you don't know what tostada is, Cuban toast. You get this big loaf of Cuban toast bread, or I do French baguette, and I put it in the oven, and then I cut it in half, and then I slice it down the middle, and then I do it open face, and then you slather it with butter. It's not super healthy, but it's really good. And then you get café con leche, and then you dunk the tostada in the café con leche. It is amazing. Very Miami and Cuban thing. So, yeah, I might do that. Also, the word Stitch is sticking out at me on my Stitch Fix box over there. On the dresser. It literally just says Stitch, which reminds me I'm looking forward to when the actual Stitch movie, which won't come out until May, June, July, maybe August? No, when did it... Echo, when did the live action Lilo and Stitch movie come out this year? I think it was May 23rd.
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Okay, anyways, I'm pretty sure it was May 23rd. So, I would assume it would be May, June, July, August 23rd, because Disney Plus always premieres it 3 months after. So Snow White with Rachel Zegler will come out, if that was March, April, May, June. So the Snow White movie will come out June 23rd. No, sorry. I take it back. It's not June 23rd. It's June something. So, anyways, I'm excited for, you know, that to show. And what else is there? I'm trying to think what else is there. Oh, I need to do my nails. I got these like fake nails or whatever. They're not on right now, but I bought them because I kind of I did what I wasn't supposed to do, and I did meet, there was someone who subscribed to my OnlyFans page, and he was really nice, and because of that I was like, okay, fine. And then, you know, he's like, oh, I'll maybe I could take you out, whatever. I was like, okay. And then I said no, because I didn't want to, like, I told myself I wasn't going to date, and then I did go on, but I told him it would just be like a friend thing, and then one thing led to another, and then he ended up back here, and now I kind of regret it because I don't want to cross the lines or whatever. But long story short, I ended up buying like nails to do that. I never actually put them on, but I did. They were really cute, and one of them, one pair or one set matches this dress that I need to take pictures in, that I was going to do for as a brand ambassador or whatever for some small company. So I think it's in New Jersey. I think she's based in New Jersey, but I'm not sure. So, which reminds me, I need to buy a swimsuit too, because this other company, so if you don't know what a brand ambassador is, really quickly, basically they give you discounts for products, and then you promote their products online, and that's the deal. You get discounts on products, and then it's free marketing for them, essentially. Not so free, because they give you a discount on what their items are, but some of them, if they do like the content you create, they will pay you per post that they post, which I did some submissions. I haven't heard from them yet. I don't know if my pictures weren't good enough or whatever, but I was hoping to generate some income from that, because it's called user generated content, and like brand deals or whatever. So I don't know, we'll see. It's still fun to dress up and like put clothes on and be like, hey, look how cute, you know, whatever. It's and I love shopping, which is bad because I shouldn't be shopping so much, but I look at it like it's an investment, because if I'm getting to promote a brand, it's good, it's visibility for them, and it's visibility for me too, as well as a content creator. Can I call myself that? I don't know. I feel like there's so many people that do content creation so much better than I do. And kudos to them for doing so. And I'm not trying to like step on their tails or whatever. There's like people on Flip who legit have like 6,000 or 3,000 followers, and they just, which reminds me, I need to buy a Flip product. So Flip is also, like I said, it's the app that I mentioned before, but primarily it's meant with the intent to promote products through user-generated content, right? And then they get a profit from that, from the product you're promoting, because it's not like when you think user-generated, you don't think like a model doing it. It's a person. It's an everyday civilian, a human being just like yourself that does and promotes like mascara, and then, which when you look at it, people at the end of the day, when you're doing advertising, like I want to see the product being used by a everyday person, because everyone knows when you see a print model, or like at Macy's of like Lancome or Yves Saint Laurent or Marc Jacobs, you know it's a model. They're getting paid to do it and they look pretty. But when you see it, a regular everyday person use it and give their insights, you know it's legit, right? They're going to be like, oh, this is shit. Oh, this is great. And that's kind of, I actually, a lot of the products I get are because of the reviews I see on Amazon or a video review. Like for makeup, a lot of the decisions I make for as a consumer, like if we're talking about consumerism, I make because of someone else's review on it. Like I legit won't buy stuff, or I won't go to a restaurant if the review is bad, like on Yelp or Google or whatever. So user-generated content is like a big thing, and I think it's going to be the future, in my opinion, if not already. So with that, it's already an hour and a half, which I'm surprised I even have storage on my phone for an hour and a half of the video. So I will upload this to YouTube, and I just wanted to do a video because I wanted to give a reason why I haven't been posting so much. But I have a lot of things. I have working on Flip, I'm working on OnlyFans, I'm working on another site kind of called Friendly, but it's not really, it's like passive income. You talk to people and then you get to like make social connections and flirt and be sexy, and you get paid for it, which is fun if the person reaches out to you first. So that's that. And then I'm working on my other YouTube channel for OnlyFans, and then I'm trying to, and then Instagram, I'm also doing user generated content for that and trying to market stuff and build that, but not like in a greedy way. So I'm trying, and I need to have better posture. I'm all slumped over. I need to roll my shoulders back. So that is where I'm at right now, and taking care of this one too. I was like, should I make an Instagram account for her? I don't know. But let me tell you, Instagram, it's a lot of work. All of it, all social media. Like now I know why companies have social media strategists and social media marketing ambassadors or whatever, because it is a lot of work. So you have to be creative, you have to come up with hashtags. So, oh my goodness, my leg is sweaty. Oh, I will say, speaking of sweat though, one more thing. I did finally find a deodorant that works. And it doesn't itch. It doesn't itch. I haven't tried Wild yet. Wild is one of the deodorants I wanted to try, but they have fragrances in it, so I'm wondering. I think it's the fragrance that irritates my armpits, because I get it's called contact dermatitis, so I get an allergic reaction to certain things. Even natural deodorants I break out with and I itch. So I found a new deodorant, and it's like it's mineral based, and it's like a crystal. It's like a rock, and you wet it and I don't know. We'll see. I don't want to knock on wood. I don't want to speak too soon, because if it ends up breaking me out, I'll be really sad. But I've tried Arm & Hammer, I've tried Native, I've tried Secret, I've tried Vichy or Vichy. I've tried Tom's of Maine, Ban. I hate the word ban too, by the way, for certain reasons. But anyways, it's another trigger word. My dog has, oh my god, the fluff in her mouth, bro. She legit has fluff in her mouth. This is her right now. She's posing right now. She's a model. She's a model. Are you a model? Anyways, so I'm going to get my day started because I need to be productive and not lazy. Which I remind myself to give myself grace, because I've been through a lot. I know I don't look like what I've been through. And people might say, oh, she's faking it. She doesn't have anxiety. I did. I was on escitalopram, which is Lexapro, and then I was on lorazepam, and I don't take it anymore. So, I still consider Bonnie an ESA dog, but I haven't, my depression is virtually gone. which I feel really grateful for. So I don't take those pills anymore. Now I'm battling, I don't know if it's like my thyroid, but I feel fatigued a lot, like very fatigued and tired, but that's it. But I don't have depression. The PTSD, I've learned how to overcome the anxiety, and I learned how to be able to circumvent the, I guess, psychological warfare and spiritual warfare that comes with gang stalking. And again, don't look it up. And when I say gang stalking, I don't legit mean a gang, or maybe it is, who knows. I mean, like, it's like hacking and just mean people, petty people that need salvation or something to get their shit together, because it's crazy. It's crazy. I honestly think it's a cult. That's my thing. I know you're gonna be like, why would a cult follow you? I don't know. I don't know if it's political. It could be political discrimination. It could be against my spirituality. I'm very spiritual. I would almost think kind of psychic in a sense. There's a slew of reasons why. So, but I don't know. I keep on moving. I keep on going, and I give grace to God, and I'm humble, and that. And yes, you can be a Christian and like sex, by the way. Please don't be like me and feel shameful or guilty for wanting to do what you would think are considered sinful things. God wouldn't have not made sex or the universe, whatever you consider God to be. It would not have been made the way it was. If it was not pleasurable, we wouldn't be doing it. It's meant to. Now, granted, anything in excess is like bad, but if you're not, if you're genuine and you're just, some people's sex drives are more active than others, and I think, I wish I can destigmatize that, being a Christian or being Catholic or whatever, and because we all do it. Like, if you don't think there's people that are like Catholics that are like good little saints, like they don't whatever, no, everyone, they say everyone poops, everyone FUCKSs. I have a hydrocolloid bandit on my chin, so these things are amazing, by the way. Those are not pimples. They are pimples underneath, but it's a Band-Aid, and they suck all the oil out of the thing. I get so much acne? I get so many breakouts on my chin, and then on my forehead here, kind of like my T-zone, basically. I'm very oily, but majority of my breakouts are on my chin, and then I have these little teeny tiny chin hairs that appear, like here. Well, those are normal. That's peach fuzz. But here, I get these little hairs, and they're so annoying. So, I'm convinced it's part of like PCOS, but you never know. You have to get diagnosed with that and all that. But anyways, I'm going to stop this now because it's an hour and a half, and I will upload it so I can have more storage on my phone, because Lord knows this video is going to take up a lot of storage, which I don't have, which I want to get another phone for. I tried to trade this. I tried to get this phone because I didn't realize I picked the smallest amount of storage, which was 128 gigabytes, and I should have gotten either the 512 gigabyte or the other one, but I didn't think that I'd be doing content creation or whatever. So I have never taken so many selfies of myself in my life, and I used to make fun of people that do selfies. I used to think people who took selfies were selfish and vain and narcissistic, and now I'm not taking them because I'm like, oh, look at me at the beach. No, I'm trying to do it to promote stuff. So I consider it marketing at best. So that's what I told myself. So yeah, I need to get either a new phone. I do have an old phone, but that's the one from my parents' contract, and I really don't want to use that one anymore just because of memories and and I wanted to be off my parents' plan, like, for a reason, because I'm a grown-ass woman, and even though I know there's family plans, but I just didn't want to be on their plan anymore. So I do have that phone, but I don't want to use it, and I want newer technology so I can take high-quality pictures, because that's an older phone. So I was trying to look into, I didn't know the Apple, they came out with the iPhone 16, and it's like pink, and it's like super cute. Like, when I say I love, like, it's super, like, I've been waiting for Apple to not do like a muted pink or a mauve rose pink. I wanted like pink, like this pink, and actually this is light pink, that doesn't count. This is like a hot pink that's like super cute, and I want it so badly. And yes, I am very much a girly girl. I have my girly girl days, and I have my like I don't give a F days where I'll wear like a black hoodie or like you know, sweatpants and like a t-shirt. So it varies. But anyways, I'm gonna get going. I do actually have to film stuff. I have a dress that I have to put on, and oh no, but I don't have the heels. I was supposed to buy heels for it. It's this dress from this place called Runway Ready, and it's like super not a dress that you would ever think I would wear. I don't even know if I'm ever gonna wear it in public. It was kind of just, it's a statement dress because it's like, it's gold. It's like kind of bronze gold color. It looks kind of like a goddess dress because it looks like a Grecian goddess kind of style dress with like this one arm like sash, and then it like it has like a really high slit like basically up here, and then it's like it opens up, and it's so not what I would wear, but I figured I would do it as a bold move for me as a person to step out of my comfort zone, because to me, little tidbit, and the last thing is I'm at an hour 30. The most growth happens when you go through pain and you step outside of your comfort zone, right? Think about it, because if you stay complacent where you are, you'll never grow. But if you do things that challenge you and that make you go in a direction that, you know, granted, you never want to compromise your morals. That's different. But if you try something new, try a new style, wear a new shoe, try a new eye color for eye makeup, date someone maybe out of your norm, you know, that's not your usual type. And then if you try it out, and if it works out great, if it doesn't, you could say at least you did. So I'm in that mode now of doing things that scare me, right? Not that I'm gonna go jump off a cliff and like, you know, do bungee jumping or skydiving or whatever, but like, I don't know, after going through everything I've gone through, you look at when you come face to face with like either the finality of life or your own mortality, you start to go, you know, what are things that I want to do in my life? Like, I would love to travel. I would go to Morocco. I would go to, I don't know how safe Turkey is, but I want to go to Greece. I want to go to France. I want to take a ballet class in France. I want to see the Louvre. I want to do a tour in Tuscany, like a wine tour. I mean, granted, this all costs money, but I was like, well, what if I travel and I do content creation? And I don't know how I'm going to do it with this one, because she's coming too. She's like, lady, you're crazy. She's like, you're crazy, but I love you. So thank you for the kisses. She's licking my toes. She loves to lick my toes. I don't know why. I don't know if my toes are salty or what it is, but yeah, so thank you, Pipper. That's my goal. I really do have the travel bug. I don't know how safe it is for a single woman. I mean, you see people doing solo camping or whatever, like in the vans or whatever. Speaking of which, I saw so many camper vans yesterday. Like, legit, like I saw so many camper vans out on the road, and I'm like, are these people like, where are they going? There you know, I could never afford one of those things. I really don't ever want to live in one of those things because she would hate it. I know she would hate it. She needs to move around. She needs to run around. And those things are tiny. I went in one of them when I had her vet come when I was in Virginia. It was a mobile vet, and he came in one of those vans and he decked it out to look like a clinic, and it is small. They look big, but they're actually really small. So I know I could never do that life. Kudos to people that do. I don't judge them, but like, I could never live in a camper van. And an RV, like an RV maybe, but a camper van, no. So that's it. This is her hot dog toy. You want to share her hot dog toy? It literally says, I'm not kidding, it says nice buns. And with that, I'm going to sign off for now. Right, Pipper? I need to close my windows too. She does need a walk though. So, but in terms of getting my life back together, what in the world do they have out on their lawn? I don't know if that's a golf. Bro, I don't know what they have. These people legit have a baby seat. Is it a baby seat? I don't know what that is. They have a baby seat. I'm not gonna judge. They have a baby seat in their front yard or driveway, just randomly. Not my business. I'm not going to go up to their house. I'm tempted to say, hey, you have a baby seat out in your driveway, but they know exactly what they're doing, so I'm not going to bother. Not my place. Not, you know. So anyways,
moving forward, I'm gonna let her. I love when her ears go like this. She's like, leave my ears alone, lady. And I'm gonna get my day started, and that is it. And we shall see what happens. Right, River? Yes. But thank you for watching. If you do watch, God bless your soul, because you literally watched an hour and a half of me just talking about a bunch of random stuff. So, you know, if YouTube could reward people, I would give you like a gold star. So, peace.